So now I'm recording. Okay. If you don't get somewhere, please stop me. So we were talking about the median, and we said for the median, you will use a formula. For the median, you will use a formula. Sorry, I'm scrolling up. So for the median, you will use a formula. The formula is this. Let me wrap here so that it doesn't distract you. For the median, we said you will use this formula. The formula is equal to L plus n divided by 2 minus Cf all over F times H. And L we said here, with self-explanatory, lower boundary of the median class. What's the lower boundary of the median class? If you want to get the median class most of the times, you will look at the frequency. The number you have, it's 45. And then you divide by 2 and say it falls somewhere to 2.5. Where is the median class then? The median class is if your figure is 22.5, then the frequency, the cumulative frequency is, if you look at it, 22.5 is more than 9 and less than 24, the end of this class. So it falls here. The class, it falls between 16 to 20. But then when we talk about lower, what does it mean? Is the lowest point 16 or it is 15? If you look at, you are moving from 15 here. Every class interval is ending from 15 and then there is a gap between 15 to 16. The gap is, you will say, for you to get the lower class, you say 15 plus 16 divided by 2. Or you divide that one. So you minus 16, you minus 0.5. So that this, where this stops, this starts. So the lower of the class, or L, is equal to 15.5. Maybe if I have lost someone on how to calculate the L, lower boundary of the median class. Are you with me? Unajua hii ni Waria anaongea tu wakati ingine kizungu ya Kisomali.
Waria iko sawa kabisa.
Kizungu ya Kisomali. Bahali yake. So we are together. So that is the L. So the L, our L is 15.5. So here we can say confidently the L is 15.5. Total number of values, our N, we know. Our data had 45. That we know. Our N, total number of values. CF, cumulative frequency before the median class. CF. This is the CF we are looking for. Normally, it is this 9. If the class you are looking at is this, then what is the cumulative frequency before that class? Preceding. Kuna succeeding or pre and after. Pre and after. Before. So before the median class. So it is 9 here. Before. So n divided by 2 minus CF, which is before the class. The frequency preceding, the cumulative frequency. So the CF, cumulative frequency before the median class. And then F is the frequency of the median class. How much is it? Is it the cumulative or the 15? So here we place the 15. Class width. How much is our class width? Our class width is 5. The class width is 5. So if you know all these figures and you know the formula, you have started with 15.5. Can we then, if you had your laptop, we could have easily calculated this. So let me see how I calculated. So I started with 15.5 plus 22.5. How are we getting that 22.5? We say, let me wrap. we said 45 divided by 2. 45 divided by 2. Then minus CF. Minus CF, which is 9. Divided by the F, frequency, which is here. Frequency, which is here. 15. And then you close the bracket. Time is 5. So how much is that? How much is that? We can calculate. I have my calculator here. I have my calculator. Or should I use Excel so that you can also see? Let me try and see. 22.5 minus 9 times 5 divided by, that's 4.5 plus 15.5. So let me try so that you are on board with Excel. Let me open my Excel. Yes, here it is. So the formula was, I can screenshot. Let me go back and screenshot the formula. Yes, here it is. Here is the formula. Okay, here it is. Let me reduce the size. I will take you slowly. Nikiwaharakisha. If I'm too slow, then I can move faster. This is the formula. We have calculated our L, the lowest, which is 15.5. Our N, we know the 45. Our CF, we know is the 9. Our CF. And then our F is 15. Our F is 15. If we go back to this, we said for us to get, where was I? Yes, where is the cumulative frequency? It's here. And let me wrap all this again. So when I was talking about the cumulative frequency, the CF, before, this is the cumulative frequency before. The F frequency for the current, for the median class is this. So 1 is the CF, here is the CF, and this is the F. We need to note that. And then our number is 45. Our number is 45. So we know our number, we know our CF, we know our F. And now we are calculating our median. So we say 15.5 plus, what are we adding? 45 divided by 2, which is, let me close first the bracket, 22.5. In other words, 22.5, which is same as n divided by 2, 45 divided by 2, and then minus CF. CF here is how much? CF is 9. Then we divide this by F, which is 15, and multiply by the height, 5. So let me close that bracket. Maybe I can put this in a separate. Okay, and then start with is equal to, I don't know if I will get the same figure because of board mass. Yes. So the answer here is 20. The answer here is 20. When I was talking about something regular, symmetric, is something similar to this. Both the median, sorry, it's not symmetric because the median and the mean are not equal because the mean was 18.89. Our median is 20. Our median is 20. But the median we have arrived at is the one for group data. For the ungrouped data also, we have gotten a median of 20. So for median, I think we are okay. Are we in agreement for the median? Have we understood? Because this is simple. You can open your mics and confirm if we are together.
Yes, we are together.
We have lost the momentum. Unajua at one point we normally lose our. So we are together. Alice, hata kama
We are together,
unasherekea,
Yusuf.
we are together. We are together. Or I have lost someone. Rahma, you are okay, yeah?
Fine.
So for the ungrouped data, I said is the middle number, just middle number. If you arrange this data, you arrange in ascending order this data, and then it is 45 numbers, 22 on this side, 22 on the other side. The middle number, which is number 23. You can say 45 plus 1 divided by 2, which is number 23. Then that is the middle number, of which here, when I was calculating that Excel, I have also gotten 20. For the ungrouped data, I have gotten 20. So maybe in your free time, since I have recorded and I've shared the first video and I will share this next video, then you can look at it and confirm. Okay, so both the ungrouped and group data we have gotten. What of standard deviation? What of standard deviation? I want just to take about 45 minutes. So for the standard deviation, I will leave it to you because I have provided the solution here. I will leave it to you to confirm. So will you allow me to go to question 2?
Yes. Yusuf, that question is how many marks? Yote?
30 marks.
Wow. Okay. That's a very rich question. So I think on my part you can continue.
And most of the times I have seen question 1 is 30 marks, about 30 marks. And it carries more of descriptive statistics. Anyway, let us continue. If you feel like I'm moving too fast, then you stop me. Okay, question 2. Question 2 is here. I will also enlarge this question. Okay, let me minimize this one, close this one. Yes, here it is. Below is the frequency distribution of wages of employees in a certain company. So here, the class, you can see wages 50 to 59, frequency A, 60 to 69, frequency 10. Let me mark so that you can follow me. 60 to 69, 10, 70 to 79, 16, 80 to 89, 15, 90 to 99, 10, 100 to 109. These are the wages. I know most of you want to be part of the 50 to 59. I hope majority will be between 90 to 109. Okay. 1. You are told construct a histogram for the wage data. 1. Construct a histogram for the wage data above. Is it data or data? Whichever way, if you are from group of schools. So you can pronounce anyhowly. I think for me, the point is home. 2. Construct the OGIF. OGIF. I don't know what they are giving, if it is O. More than and less than for the data. More than and less than for the data. What's more than? What's less than? Sorry. B. Explain the type of frequency distributions. C. Explain the importance of normal distribution. D. Differentiate between continuous and discrete data. E. ordinal and nominal data. Ordinal and nominal data. So the first A has 16 marks. B and C have 10, that's 26. Then D and E have 2 marks each, a total of 30 marks. So what is a histogram? What is OGIF? And what are the differences between the two? That's where I will start with. So since most of you are not in a good position, I will continue. A histogram. A histogram. What is a histogram? I will have started by definition. A histogram is a bar graph showing frequency of data. Please note the word bar is a sort of columns. Okay. OGIF. OGIF is a line graph. So when one is a bar graph, for example, it has columns like this, columns like this. This is a histogram. And the other one is something like this, moving like this, whether so it's a line with dots. So that is a line graph, a line graph. So one is a line graph, the other one is a bar graph. Line graph, a bar graph. So histogram is a bar graph showing frequency of data intervals in intervals. A line for OGIF is a line graph showing cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency. Type of graph, bar. For the OGIF, line. For the OGIF, line. One is line, one is bar chart. What is the data used? We normally know when we are talking about data in statistics, kuna class, kuna frequency. So for the histogram, it uses frequency. For the OGIF, it uses for cumulative frequency. So the keyword here is cumulative, while here it uses frequency. And then x-axis, both of them, they share the same thing, but it's class intervals. But for histogram, mostly it uses class intervals or midpoints. For the OGIF, it usually uses the upper or lower. Upper or lower. What do we, what can we call upper or lower? When you see a data saying 50 to 59, for the histogram, you use 54, the average, midpoints, for example. For this one, you either use the 50 or the 59, the lower or the upper. The lower or the upper. I don't know if that is clear. So, shape, series of touching bars. Touching bars. In Excel, you might have seen when you prepare a pie chart, sometimes there are spaces between the bars. But for histogram, there is no spaces between the bars. So a series of touching bars. A series of touching bars. Here, a continuous line that falls this way or goes up, depending on how that line or that data is. So a continuous line. Purpose to show distribution of data. For histogram, the purpose is to show distribution of data. Distribution of data. For OGIF, to show the running total of frequencies. What is it used for? You may be asked, what is histogram used for? Model, most of the time. What's the most common? What is the most common? Seeing the most common values. Most common. For OGIF, it is used for median, percentile, and quartiles. Median, percentile, and quartiles. So we will draw, we will draw this, we will draw this. I have taken it to Excel. This is my Excel. So let me open my Excel. Let me open my Excel. Yes, here it is. So if you look at this data, this is an example of a histogram. Are you able to see that? This is an example of a histogram. In fact, this is from the same data. You can see the midpoints, 54.5. How am I arriving at the midpoints? The midpoints, I take the upper and the lower and then divide by 2 so that I can get the midpoints. I can get the midpoints. So once you get the midpoints, how did I come up with this uh, histogram? What I did is you select this data and then you say insert. Once you go to insert, here there is bar chart. In this bar chart, or you can say more columns chart. Once you go here, there is one for histogram, one for histogram, one for histogram, and you say okay. But what you will find is this histogram has used different values. So let me select the appropriate one. Let me see the design, my chart design. It has limited me. Let me select the right one. Sorry. Insert. Okay. More columns. Okay. More columns. Yes. A histogram. Why am I not getting the right one again? Why am I not getting the right one as I have selected like before? Okay. So one has to go to the x-axis and mhm. I don't know why I'm unable to select this as I've already done, but let me try again. Let me try again. This was not the one. No. 3D. Mhm. Yes. Okay. So I will select here. Let me take it up. So the moment you come up with a table like this, initially it will in Excel. I'm showing an example in Excel, but this one you can draw manually if you're given that graph. So initially it will give you something like this, but for you to get to remove the spaces in between, you select one of the columns, right click, and then uh, you change. Sorry, it's not changing the data. You change the spaces. So how do we remove this? We select, change the data type, but mhm, select. I want to remove the spaces. Someone who is an expert maybe can assist me. There's a way to select this. Okay. Here it is. So insert column and then you just right click. This was for histogram. So I will reshare again. I don't know why I'm not getting, it's not data label, change series type. No. Okay, let me see if this it is. I don't think so. Where is, okay, no, that was not the case. So did I close this? Anyway, I will go back and redo again. Once you do this, you remove the spaces in between. That's the point I have lost. How to remove the spaces in between. You remove this space, the space between column A and column B, so that they look like this one at the top. They look like this one at the top. So you remove the spaces and you attach to these columns. For differentiating between the columns, I just selected each column, and then I went to this here, outline. I said weight of 2, and then I selected this color, for example. But you can select all of them. You can select all of them with that weight, with that shading. So I'm the same weight. So you can do that. I only need to remove the spaces in between. I think it has come up. Let me try again. It has come up. Yes, the width should be 0. I don't know why it was misbehaving. It was misbehaving. I don't know. Yes, here it is. And now I have gotten the answer. Yes, you can see that. That's how to come up with a histogram. Let me format again my weight and outline in between. Okay, let me format again. Great. Maybe you do for all of them. I'm doing one by one. There's a way to do for all of them. I don't know why it's not coming up. But so that I don't waste a lot of time, this is an example of a histogram. This is an example of a histogram. Then, how is OGIF different from histogram? We say OGIF, it is just like this, a line. You don't go with these midpoints. You go with, say, 50.9, 60.9, 70.9, 80.9. And then you use the cumulative. 8 here, here is 10. So you number this, and then you start with 2 and end up, say, up to 45, for example. So if the first one is 8, you take that. The second one is 18. You point that way, and then you draw that line as it goes up. You draw that line as it goes up, and then you draw that line as it goes up with the points somewhere. So that is OGIF. And what you are seeing in that Excel is histogram. So are we seeing the difference between the two, OGIF and histogram? Hello? Have I lost you? Niliwapoteza niking'ang'ana na Excel.
Tuko pamoja Yusuf. We are together.
We are together.
Apologies, I was trying to unmute. Yeah, we're
Rahma,
together.
tuko pamoja.
Mi niko.
Huko.
Eh.
Rahma, okay. So let us continue. So now you can understand the difference between histogram and OGIF. If you are
Yes,
told to
Yusuf, we
differentiate
understand.
the two, you understand. Wonderful. So if you understand the difference between the two, between OGIF, so OGIF can have the lower and the higher uh, class boundary. This is an example of the lower. The higher is this one, 59. For example, class 1, you take 59. For the upper, you take 59. For the lower is this 50. So you can do both the lower and upper. And in fact, this question was asking for the two. For the two. So let me go to the next question. The next question you are told, explain the types of frequencies distribution. So there are about 5 types of frequencies. The first frequency, I have written a little bit of explanation. Imagine you are collecting data about how many books students read in a month. You can organize that data in different ways. That's what we call frequency distribution, a way of organizing and showing how often things happen. So the first one is ungrouped. What do we say ungrouped? Ungrouped is where there is no classes. Simply, there is no classes. Those who read 0 books like me are one, for example. Those who read 1 book, example, Alice reads 1 book every month. So Alice, she's also alone, one. Then there's another person who is good at reading books in this group. So he reads or she reads twice, then the number of frequency is there. So 2 people read twice a month, then 3. That is an ungrouped data. Ungrouped. Very simple. Ungrouped data. Ungrouped data. So the next one is grouped data. We were dealing with the other question. That is a classic example of group data. So what does it have? It has a range 0 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, like this you are seeing in that class. So when there are too much data, we put it in groups or ranges. When the data is small, you go as it is. When the data is huge, you group them. You group them. So we have said one, ungroup, ungroup, two, group, two, group. Let us go to number 3. Let us go to number 3. Let us go to number 3. So number 3 is cumulative frequency distribution. So there is the cumulative frequency distribution. So cumulative, you start with the first figure and then you add. Mostly it is used by OGIF. You have seen OGIF uses cumulative, histogram uses the normal frequency. And then there is the relative frequency as a percentage of total. Example, if 10 out of 40%, 40 students prefer mango juice, then that is called a relative frequency. For relative frequency. And then the fifth one is bivariate frequency. Involves two things at once. You are comparing age and number of goals in football. You start more than 30 years and also number of goals. Less than 30 years and number of goals. So you are comparing age and number of goals in football. Bivariate frequency. So two things at once. So those are examples of frequency distribution. Frequency distribution. There's the group, ungroup, cumulative, relative, and bivariate. And bivariate. So those are the five. Those are the five. So the other one is, I will leave this to Rahma if she's hearing me. Differentiate between continuous and discrete data. 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 So Rahma, maybe you can try. Rahma, okay. To help Rahma, because maybe she's not around. Discrete, discrete, we said uh, counting, something that can be counted, like people. Continuous, we say something that you can measure. Discrete are things that you can count. Continuous are things that you can measure. Discrete, we say human beings, babies, number of babies. Continuous, we say weight of a something or a measure of something. So you can measure time, weight. So those you can measure. So the difference between the two is one you can count, the other one you can measure. You cannot measure the number of human beings. As I was giving an example, you cannot say you are half person, quarter person. The last one is ordinal data versus nominal data. Think of categories. Some have order, some don't have. For example, nominal data, just names, labels, no order, like gender, male, female, blood type, A, B, O, those are normal data. Ordinal, they have clear order. In exam, there is clear order. Grade A, grade B, grade C, ranking first, second, there is clear order. For example, when shopping, nominal product categories include shoes, clothes, books. For ordinal, there is it relates more to customer satisfaction. Ordinal, we can say this customer satisfaction was very poor. Some might say poor, others might say good, excellent. So that is ordinal in terms of shopping, the customer satisfaction. Nominal, we normally say product, it relates more of product categories, shoes, clothes, books, etc. So I think I have, what can I call it? I'm lost for adjectives. Allow me to stop up to there. If you have any question, maybe you can ask. The problem with today is most of you are out of your homes, some on the road, some at work, and I have distracted you
Yeah.
from those activities.
Eh,
So,
sasa
any question?
mine is to say thank you Yusuf. Nimeona Mungu ametupenda because tumepata mtu atatupeleka tu hesabu. It was enjoyable myself. I really enjoyed the class. Asante. Maybe we can discuss in the group what time is best for everyone for Saturday. But for myself, I've enjoyed the class. Thank you so much. Barakallah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Nana.
Yusuf, hakuna
Yes,
hakuna venye unaweza kuwa mwalimu wetu kwa classes zote aki you are teaching so well.
no, I'm not a good teacher.
Kabisa, yani kabisa. Aiwa. Hey.
You are teaching so well. Mpaka hata mtu atuongei sana.
I don't
Tunasikiza
know why
tu.
you are not talking because maybe
We are
you are on
understanding.
the road. That's what I suspect.
No, not on the road anymore. We are understanding. That is the thing. Mimi unanijua kama sijaelewa kitu nitashinda nauliza.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you
but
for
it
the
was a very
compliment.
nice class. I appreciate.
Okay. At the end of the day,
Fundishe
in,
financial kesho.
Pardon?
Utufundishe hiyo FA kesho.
FA is my expertise, so I prefer where it's challenging. So maybe I will be your backup, but you take the lead, because the best way to learn is first learn yourself, then teach others. So maybe what I can teach is FM, financial management. If Iron is not ready to take it, then I can also take that one. But for FA, I want Rahma to take us. For research, Alice has taken for GM. So it's good we learn from one another. Maybe don't doubt yourself. Usiseme hii hautafundisha. Where you have challenges, we will help. Lakini usiseme Yusuf hapana. No. Even me, I was doubting myself before I started today.
Uko sawa. Alafu Yusuf,
Yes.
questions zenye zinajirepeat umepata kwa FA?
Maybe tutafute pamoja. Let me look for it. But if you take 5 papers and see there are certain questions that are repeated, or topics, then those are repeated.
Okay. So ni compare.
Yes, compare. Just compare and see. Because at the end of the day,
I have remembered something.
yes.
You had said past papers tukutumie some how much, and maybe if you can share it with us saizi mapema hizo uko na questions and answers.
Kumbe nawadai deni.
Itatusaidia even free the
Nawadai
sasa
deni.
wewe niambie ni ngapi?
Ni 800 per
And we
person.
can at least have the
We are 5 divided by
your number
4,000. 800.
Okay, sawa. Haya, sawa inshallah.
Please also look at those solved examples and see if they make sense, because we are human. Victor is also human.
Okay, sawa.
Yeah, good day. I will share the video. I've already shared the other one for both GM research first phase. Sorry, QM first phase, and then this one also I will share. Enjoy your day. Safiri salama kwa wale wanaosafiri.